This is bacon with a DP. Today we're going to turn these ingredients into a delicious coffee and walnut cake. I'll detail the full recipe in the description below and also include a couple of tricks I've learned over the years in this video. And these are the ingredients we're going to need to make the cake. So we're going to need 2 times 250 gram blocks of salted butter, 250 grams of self-raising flour, 5 eggs. You're going to want to get the Madagascaran Vanilla Extract, much better than the standard one. Quality premium coffee, 450 grams of caster sugar, 200 grams of icing sugar, a whole packet of walnut halves. This is one of DP's trade secrets to make this cake taste even better. What I do is I fish out all the walnut halves from this packet. This is a 200 gram packet. I then fish out the broken walnut halves, grate them using this setting into here, and this is about 75 grams. I'll then put 2/3 of that in the actual cake mixture, and the other third I'll put in the butter icing. Step number 1. When you're greasing the tins, make sure you use a generous helping of the butter. Massage it really well around the tins. These are 1-inch sponge tins, and I use extra butter to make sure you get a nice glaze when the cake comes out. Step number 2. I use an electric fan assisted oven which needs to be preheated to 200 degrees C, or if you're using gas, it's gas mask 6. Step number 3. I use an electric hand whisk to make the mixture. I've got 250 grams of caster sugar and 250 grams of butter, and you want to mix this until it's a really nice kind of creamy smooth texture / consistency. Makes a real difference. Step number 4. So I've cracked the 5 eggs into the mixture, and the key to this step is to make sure the coffee granules melt with as little water as possible. So I boil the kettle, pour the boiling water into the cup to increase the temperature of the cup, pour the hot water out, then I add 2 teaspoons of coffee, and say the key is use as little water as possible to help melt the granules. Make sure the coffee's cool before it goes into the mixture, and we're going to use 2/3 of this liquid in the mixture, and the other third will be used for the butter icing. Same goes for the grated walnuts, 2/3 into the mixture, the other third for the butter icing, and we're going to use 2 capfuls of the vanilla extract. Step number 5. As you can see, the mixture's been really well mixed. Got these nice little air bubbles coming through. We're now going to mix in the self-raising flour nice and slowly. Once that's all been mixed together, it's really important to get it into the tins as quickly as possible. 50-50 split between the 2 tins to make sure you get a nice light and fluffy cake. Step number 6. Now we'll split the mixture 50-50. We're going to get these in the oven. Get them both in there. Now the cakes are in the oven. We can leave them in there for 20 minutes, but please be careful because people's ovens do vary. So what I'd recommend doing is, after the 20-minute timer goes off, just check it. Kind of, push your finger into the cake, and if it rises up nicely, you know they're cooked. If you push your finger down and it still stays down, they're going to need a little bit longer. Step number 6. While the cake's in the oven, we can make the butter icing. So essentially we've got 200 grams of butter and 400 grams of icing sugar. So to make butter icing, you essentially need to use double the amount of icing sugar versus the amount of butter. And then, as we touched on in the earlier steps, we're going to use the rest of the coffee and the grated walnut and mix it all together. If you want to see one of my previous videos that I've done on the channel, please check it out, because essentially this makes a mess of your kitchen and it is pretty dire. So what I do is I put a carrier bag over the mixture and then I put this on top of the carrier bag to stop it going everywhere. Step number 7. Now I've taken the cakes out of the tins. I'm going to leave them on this grease-proof paper allow them to cool. I will continue to turn these every kind of 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure they don't stick for the next 10 minutes, and then once they cool down, we'll decorate it. Step number 8. And here's DP's delicious coffee and walnut cake. So we just put about 2/3 of the butter icing in between the sponge, 1/3 on top, and he's grated some walnuts on the top to get this nice kind of like frosted, snowy effect on top. But you know, decorating a cake's a personal thing, so you know, decorate it as you please. I hope you like the content. I hope you enjoy the cake, and yeah, please give us a like and subscribe. Have a good day.